Chapter 1. Getting your Nevada driver's license. This chapter explains Nevada's basic requirements for becoming a licensed driver and outlines the steps every applicant must follow. It also introduces special rules that apply to young drivers, new residents, and those seeking specialized driving privileges. New Nevada residents. Nevada residents must obtain a state license within 30 days of establishing residency and surrender any out-of-state driver licenses or ID cards. A vision test is always required. Other exams may be waived only when strict eligibility criteria are satisfied. Active duty military members and true non-residents such as tourists or students may legally drive with a valid home state license. Documents you will need. Original or certified proof of identity and date of birth, such as a U.S. birth certificate or valid passport, is mandatory for every application. Applicants must also show evidence of Social Security number and 2 proofs of Nevada residency when applying for a real ID credential. Special document lists apply to naturalized citizens, permanent resident, and limited-term applicants. Unacceptable documents include hospital birth certificates and foreign IDs. Name changes require certified legal records like marriage certificates, divorce decrees, or court orders. Driver Authorization Card, DAC. A DAC grants legal driving privileges for 4 years to applicants who cannot present proof of Social Security number or lawful status. The card is marked not for federal ID and does not establish immigration status. DAC holders must obey all the same traffic laws as licensed drivers. Renewals and address changes must be completed in person, and the DAC must be carried anytime the individual operates a motor vehicle. Testing. Applicants must pass vision, knowledge, and skills tests unless specifically waived. The knowledge exam covers Nevada laws, signs, and safe driving practices. The first test attempt costs $25 and each retest costs $10. Road tests evaluate real-world maneuvers and vehicle safety. Using a cell phone or relying on certain driver assist features during the road test results in automatic failure. Young drivers. Under 1-8 applicants need a parent or guardian to co-sign and may have their driving privileges delayed or revoked for offenses like truancy, graffiti, or alcohol violations. Graduated licensing requires DMV-approved driver education plus 50 logged practice hours or 100 in remote areas, including 10 hours at night. First-time DUI or reckless driving penalties for minors mirror adult sanctions and can include lengthy license revocation. Instruction permits. At 15 and a half, teens may earn an instruction permit after vision and knowledge tests. The permit must be held at least 6 months before licensing. Permit holders must drive with a 21-year-old licensed driver with 1 year's experience seated beside them. Motorcycle permit holders are limited to daylight riding, no passengers, and must remain under direct visual supervision. Passenger restrictions and curfews. For the first 6 months of licensure, drivers aged 16 to 17 may not carry non-family passengers under 18. Nevada imposes a statewide teen curfew from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. unless traveling to or from a scheduled event. The rule ends at age 18. Driver license classifications. Nevada issues Class A, B, C, and M licenses, each covering different vehicle weights and purposes. Class C licenses cover cars, pickups, and vans up to 10,000 pounds GVWR and certain towing combinations not exceeding 70 feet. Operating a motorcycle requires a Class M license or endorsement, while commercial vehicles need a separate CDL. Restrictions. Licenses may carry restriction codes such as B for corrective lenses, F for additional mirrors, and G for daylight driving only. Annual medical or vision certifications, codes 6, 7, or 8, ensure ongoing driver fitness. Endorsements. Endorsements authorize specialized operation, e.g., J lets Class C drivers tow over 10,000 pounds within 70 feet, and F exempts firefighters, farmers, or military from certain CDL rules. Each endorsement requires extra knowledge tests and may necessitate skills demonstrations. Commercial Driver License (CDL). A Nevada CDL is mandatory for vehicles over 26,001 pounds GVWR, passenger vehicles carrying 16-plus people, or those transporting hazardous materials. Applicants face stringent federal medical checks, comprehensive knowledge exams, and road tests at designated CDL centers. Motorcycle Instruction Permit and License. Motorcycle permits start at 15.5 and grant restricted riding. The full Class M license requires successful knowledge and skills tests or completion of an approved safety course. Permit restrictions include daylight-only riding, no passengers, and supervision by a licensed motorcyclist aged 21 plus with 1 year's experience. 2 consecutive failures on the DMV motorcycle skills test permanently bar additional permits. Renewals. Licenses for drivers under 65 are valid 8 years. Those 65 plus expire every 4 years and always include a vision test. Depending on health or driving record, the DMV may also require knowledge or road tests at renewal. Active duty military may renew by mail, but Nevada does not automatically extend license validity during deployment. Restricted license. Hardship or school-to-work restricted licenses are available to 14 and 15-year-olds who demonstrate genuine need and to some suspended drivers after serving part of their term. Strict destination and time limits apply, and violations can lead to full suspension. Change of address or name. Drivers must report any address or legal name change to the DMV within 30 days. Most address changes are completed online, but CDL holders and all name changes require an in-person visit with legal proof. Duplicate license. A duplicate license must be requested immediately if the original is lost, stolen, or damaged. Online and in-person options are available. DMV can use existing photos and records, but additional identity documents speed processing. Identification cards. Nevada ID cards are available from age 10, are valid 8 years, or matched to immigration limits, and require the same identity proof as licenses. Receiving an ID normally cancels any existing license unless the person is a seasonal resident. Veteran designation. Veterans with honorable discharge papers may add a veteran label to their license or ID, promoting recognition of military service. Applicants must authorize the DMV to share limited information with the Nevada Department of Veterans Services. Organ donors. Applicants can register as organ, eye, and tissue donors, adding a red heart symbol to their credential and updating the state donor registry. Specialty license plates and optional donations fund public education and transplant assistance. Human trafficking. No child for sale. The DMV displays DHS Blue campaign materials that list trafficking red flags and urge the public to report suspicions via hotline. Educational outreach highlights that victims rarely seek help because of fear, language barriers, or coercion. Fees. Standard Class C original or renewal costs $41.25. Knowledge or skills tests add $25 for the first try and $10 per retest. Reinstatement fees range from $75 for general offenses to $120 plus victim surcharge for alcohol-related suspensions. Chapter 01 Summary. Chapter 01 outline the paperwork, testing, and responsibilities that pave the way to legal driving in Nevada. Up next, Chapter 02 reviews seatbelt laws and other occupant protection essentials that guard every journey. Chapter 2. Buckle up. Seatbelts, child restraints, and simple precautions turn everyday trips into safer journeys for everyone. This chapter reviews Nevada's safety belt laws and shows how to protect passengers of every age. License requires successful knowledge and skills tests or completion of an approved safety course. Unattended children and pets. Nevada law forbids leaving a child age 7 or younger alone in a vehicle when conditions pose any significant danger unless supervised by someone at least 12 years old. Leaving small children unattended in cars can lead to heatstroke, hypothermia, accidental vehicle movement, or kidnapping, each carrying misdemeanor penalties. It is likewise illegal to leave a dog or cat in a vehicle during extreme heat or cold, even for a short errand. Police, firefighters, and other officials may lawfully break a window or use other reasonable force to rescue an endangered animal. Always remove children and pets from parked vehicles and lock the doors to prevent re-entry. Traveling with babies and children. Choose a U.S. Department of Transportation approved child restraint that matches the youngster's current size and weight. Install the seat exactly as the manufacturer or National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recommends and recheck it regularly. Infants under 2 years must ride in a rear-facing safety seat in the back seat, which best supports their head, neck, and spine during a crash. As children outgrow rear-facing seats, transition to forward-facing seats with harnesses, then booster seats, keeping them buckled in the back seat as long as practical. Never place a rear-facing infant seat in front of an active passenger side airbag. The bag deploys at roughly 200 miles per hour and can cause fatal injuries. Chapter 02 Summary. Buckling up and choosing the right child restraint are the simplest ways to cut serious crash injuries and save lives. Next, Chapter 03 shifts from passive protection to active skills, guiding you through Nevada's fundamental driving rules and safe on-road habits. Chapter 3. Driving Safely. Driving safely blends solid preparation, strict rule following, and constant awareness of changing road conditions. This chapter arms you with practical habits and legal knowledge that keep everyone on Nevada's highways out of harm's way. Getting ready to drive. Adjust your seat, steering wheel, and head restraint so you have a clear view and can reach all controls without stretching. Clean the windshield, windows, mirrors, and headlights to maximize visibility before turning a wheel. Remove loose objects that could become dangerous projectiles during sudden stops or collisions. Confirm every occupant, front and back, is properly buckled, with child restraints installed as required. Glance at dashboard indicators so low fuel, tire pressure, or engine warnings never surprise you mid-trip. Before you start the engine, keep your foot on the brake, gear selector in park or neutral for manuals, and parking brake engaged before ignition. Fine-tune mirrors so you can monitor adjacent lanes without turning your head away from the road. Set climate controls, music, and navigation now. Adjusting them later steals attention from driving. Secure phones, pets, and cargo so nothing shifts, rolls, or distracts you once the vehicle is in motion. Assess your own fitness. Never drive when drowsy, ill, impaired, or emotionally agitated. Before you move your vehicle, signal, check mirrors, and look over your shoulder to confirm pedestrians, cyclists, and vehicles are clear of your intended path. Release the parking brake only after traffic gaps are adequate and your wheels are pointed straight ahead. Ease smoothly into traffic, matching the speed of vehicles already moving on the roadway. Keep wheels straight while awaiting a left turn so a rear-end impact won't push you into oncoming traffic. Tire safety. Inspect tire pressure monthly, and before long trips, using the PSI listed on your driver's side door jamb or owner's manual. Apply the penny test. Replace tires when Lincoln's head is fully visible because tread depth has become unsafe. Look for cuts, bulges, or embedded objects that could trigger a blowout at highway speeds. Rotate tires and maintain alignment to extend tread life, improve fuel economy, and ensure predictable handling. The rules of the road. Nevada statutes dictate right-of-way, speed limits, signaling, lane use, parking, and more to create orderly traffic flow. Violations add demerit points, result in fines, and can escalate to license suspension for repeat offenders. Safe drivers combine legal compliance with courtesy, adapting quickly when weather, construction, or crashes disrupt normal patterns. Knowing and applying these rules reduces uncertainty and prevents the chain reactions that lead to collisions. Signs, signals, and markings. Regulatory signs, usually red or white, state what you must do: stop, yield, or follow a posted speed limit. Warning signs, often yellow or fluorescent green, flag upcoming curves, crossings, or other hazards needing extra caution. Guide signs in green, blue, or brown help you find routes, rest areas, fuel, hospitals, and recreational sites. Traffic signals at intersections override other controls. Always follow the light even if you arrived first. Painted arrows, lane lines, and words on the pavement show permissible turns, passing zones, and lane destinations. Lane lines and pavement markings. Broken white lines separate lanes traveling the same way. You may change lanes when it's safe. Solid white lines discourage lane changes and mark the right road edge, especially at higher speeds. Broken yellow lines divide opposing traffic and allow passing when oncoming lanes are clear. Double solid yellow lines ban crossing, except to turn left into or out of driveways and alleys. Center lanes with a combination of solid and broken yellow lines are for shared left turns, not through travel. Speed limits. Residential and business streets are typically 25 miles per hour unless signs show a different limit. School zones drop to 15 miles per hour during designated times. Always watch for crossing children and patrols. Urban freeways post up to 65 miles per hour, while rural interstates may allow 70 miles per hour or more where conditions permit. Adjust speed for rain, fog, traffic congestion, or road repairs, even when the posted limit is higher. Driving too slowly can be unsafe if you block traffic flow. Stay reasonably near the prevailing speed. Lane changes. Signal at least 100 feet before moving sideways to warn drivers and motorcyclists of your intent. Check rear view and side mirrors, then quickly glance over your shoulder to clear blind spots. Move only when you have ample space without forcing other drivers to brake or swerve. Cancel your signal once established in the new lane and maintain consistent speed thereafter. Passing another vehicle. Pass only where pavement markings allow and visibility is clear of oncoming traffic and curves. Do not exceed the posted speed limit while overtaking. Give yourself extra room when passing large trucks. Return to your lane when you see both headlights of the vehicle you passed in your interior mirror. Never pass on the shoulder, at intersections, or within 100 feet of a railroad crossing. Passing bicyclists. Nevada's 3-foot rule requires at least 3 feet of space, or a full adjacent lane, when overtaking a bicycle. If leaving that clearance is impossible, slow down and wait until passing can be completed safely. Watch for cyclists' hand signals and possible swerves to dodge potholes or debris. Parking basics. Park only where signs or curb colors permit, observing any posted time restrictions. Always set the parking brake, shift to park or first gear, and turn off the engine before exiting. On grades, turn wheels toward the curb when facing downhill and away when facing uphill. Check mirrors before opening doors so you do not endanger cyclists or passing traffic. Colored curb markings. White curbs permit short stops for passenger loading and unloading only. Green curbs allow limited-time parking, with the exact limit posted on nearby signs. Yellow curbs designate loading zones. You must stay with the vehicle while actively loading or unloading. Red curbs mean no stopping, standing, or parking at any time for any reason. Blue curbs reserve spaces exclusively for vehicles displaying valid disabled placards or plates. Parallel parking. Choose a space about 3 feet longer than your vehicle and align rear bumpers before reversing. Shift to reverse, check mirrors, and back slowly while steering toward the curb. When your front bumper clears the rear bumper of the car ahead, straighten wheels and continue backing. Center your car in the space, 12 to 18 inches from the curb, then set the parking brake. No parking allowed. Do not park within 15 feet of a fire hydrant or 20 feet of a marked crosswalk at an intersection. Parking on sidewalks, in front of driveways, or blocking disabled access aisles is illegal. Bridges, overpasses, tunnels, and any place marked with a red curb or no parking sign are off limits. Never leave a vehicle where it could obstruct emergency vehicles or restrict traffic flow. U-turns. Make U-turns only from the far left lane or a designated center turn lane when signs permit. It is legal to cross double yellow lines for a U-turn if you can see 200 feet in both directions. Never attempt a U-turn on a one-way street or where you risk interfering with oncoming traffic. Signal and yield to pedestrians, cyclists, and all approaching vehicles before completing the maneuver. Pedestrian right-of-way. Drivers must yield to pedestrians in both marked and unmarked crosswalks at intersections. Stop well behind stop lines so pedestrians do not have to step into traffic lanes to cross. Exercise extra caution around children, seniors, and visually impaired persons using canes or guide dogs. Railroad crossings. Stop at least 15 feet from tracks when gates are down, lights flash, or a flagger signals a train. Never drive around lowered gates. Wait until they fully rise and all warning lights stop. After a train passes, look both ways again. Another train may be approaching on a second track. In an emergency, if your vehicle breaks down, steer safely off the roadway, activate hazard flashers, and raise the hood. Tie a white cloth to the driver's door handle or antenna to alert passing motorists and troopers. Remain with your vehicle. A Nevada Highway Patrol officer will patrol and assist stranded drivers. International symbol of access. Disabled parking spaces feature the blue wheelchair emblem and are reserved for placard or plate holders. The person to whom the placard is issued must be present when the space is used. Misusing disabled parking privileges can result in hefty fines and revocation of the placard. Chapter 03 Summary. Driving safely begins long before shifting into gear and continues through every signal, scan, and stop you make. Master the preparation, lane use, speed control, and courtesy skills in this chapter to keep Nevada roads predictable and crash-free. Next, Chapter 04 explores cutting-edge driver assistance technologies that add a high-tech layer to these time-tested safety habits. Chapter 4. Advanced Driver Assistance Systems. Technologies such as automatic braking, lane keeping, and blind spot alerts can prevent or soften many common crashes. This chapter explains how each system works, its limits, and why you remain the primary decision-maker behind the wheel. What are Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, ADAS? ADAS refers to electronic features that sense road and vehicle conditions, then warn or intervene to enhance safety. Most systems rely on cameras, radar, ultrasonic sensors, or a blend of all three to monitor lanes, traffic, and obstacles. SAE levels 0 to 2 describe today's driver assist features. They support but never replace continuous human supervision. Anti-lock braking system, ABS. ABS prevents will lock up during hard stops, letting drivers steer around hazards while braking firmly. On dry pavement, apply steady pressure. In emergencies, stomp and stay. ABS pulses the brakes automatically. A dashboard ABS light that stays on signals a fault. Have the system inspected before driving further. Traction and electronic stability control, ESC. Traction control limits wheel spin when accelerating on slick surfaces by reducing engine power or pulsing individual brakes. ESC compares steering input with the vehicle's actual path, then brakes specific wheels to correct skids. Never shut off ESC except when stuck in snow or mud and re-enable it as soon as you regain momentum. Forward collision warning and automatic emergency braking. Forward collision warning uses sensors to judge closing speed and alerts the driver with lights, chimes, or seat vibration. Automatic emergency braking activates if you fail to react, decelerating or stopping to lessen the impact. Snow, fog, or a dirty sensor cover can mask obstacles. Clean camera and radar areas regularly. Adaptive Cruise Control, ACC. ACC maintains a set speed while automatically adjusting to keep a safe following gap behind slower vehicles. Most systems disengage below certain speeds or during sharp curves, handing full control back to the driver. Always be ready to brake. ACC may not recognize stationary objects or sudden cut-ins quickly enough. Lane Departure Warning and Lane Keeping Assist. Lane departure warning beeps or vibrates when the vehicle drifts over lane lines without signaling. Lane keeping assist can gently steer back toward center, but will disconnect if you remove your hands or apply force. Poor weather, worn markings, or construction zones can hide lane lines and disable the system. Blind spot monitoring and rear cross-traffic alert. Blind spot monitoring lights a mirror icon or sounds an alarm when another vehicle occupies the adjacent lane's blind zone. Rear cross-traffic alert scans at parking lot speeds, warning of side traffic while backing out of spaces. These aids do not see motorcycles or fast-approaching vehicles as reliably always shoulder check. Parking assistance, cameras, and sensors. Backup cameras deliver a wide rear view, but objects can appear farther away than they are, use mirrors, and glance backward too. Ultrasonic sensors beep faster as you near obstacles. Some systems can self-park by controlling steering during parallel or perpendicular parking. Keep camera lenses and bumper sensors clear of dirt, ice, or tow hitches to preserve accuracy. Limitations and environmental factors. Heavy rain, blowing dust, glare, or low sun angles can confuse cameras and radar, delaying warnings or braking. Aftermarket accessories, mismatched tires, or windshield replacements may obstruct sensors and void calibration. Always read the owner's manual for specific operating limits and recalibration requirements after repairs. Driver responsibilities. ADAS is a supplement. Hands stay on the wheel, eyes scan constantly, and you remain liable for safe operation. Learn each system's alerts in advance so you act instinctively when one triggers. Schedule regular maintenance and software updates to keep driver assist features functioning as designed. Chapter 04 Summary. Advanced driver assistance systems extend your awareness and reaction time, but cannot replace attentive driving. Understand how to use, maintain, and override these features so technology and human skill work together for safer travel. Chapter 5 Special Driving Conditions. Changing light, weather, or road situations demand extra skill and caution to stay crash-free on Nevada highways. This chapter shows you how to adapt quickly when darkness, storms, mechanical failures, or roadside hazards appear. Night driving. Always drive at a speed that lets you stop within the distance illuminated by your headlights. Keep eyes moving, glance down and right to avoid the glare of oncoming high beams, and use the road edge line as a guide. Switch to low beams when following another vehicle or meeting traffic, and make sure headlight lenses stay clean. Never wear sunglasses after dusk, and keep windshields and mirrors spotless to reduce nighttime halos. Turn on headlights from sunset to sunrise and whenever visibility is low, even if street lights are present. Driving in bad weather. Slow down and double following distance in rain, snow, fog, or dusty crosswinds to avoid sudden skids. Use low-beam headlights in precipitation. High beams just reflect glare back into your eyes. Begin braking earlier and steer gently. Hard inputs can break traction on slick pavement. Never use cruise control on wet or icy roads. You need instant throttle control to correct slides. If visibility drops near zero, pull well off the roadway, turn on flashers, and wait until conditions improve. Skidding. Skids occur when tires lose grip, usually from excessive speed, abrupt steering, or slick surfaces. For rear-wheel skids, steer gently in the same direction the rear of the vehicle slides. Steer into the skid. In a front-wheel skid, ease off the accelerator and steer toward your intended path until tires regain traction. Avoid braking hard during a skid. Gentle, Steady pressure helps restore control. Prevent skids by maintaining good tires and by accelerating, braking, and turning smoothly. Brakes fail. Pump the brake pedal rapidly 3 or 4 times to build hydraulic pressure. This often restores stopping power. Downshift to a lower gear so engine resistance slows the vehicle while you search for a safe place to stop. Apply the parking brake slowly and be ready for rear wheel lock that can cause a sideways skid. Sound the horn, flash headlights, and steer toward open shoulder or curb to warn other road users. If necessary, scrub speed by rubbing wheels along the curb or soft roadside vegetation before coming to rest. Steering fails. Grip the wheel firmly. Manual effort rises sharply when power steering is lost. Activate hazard flashers and ease off the accelerator while lightly braking to avoid wheel lock. If steering wheel locks because the engine stalls, shift to neutral and try to restart without turning the key fully off. Steer toward the nearest safe shoulder and call for assistance. Do not resume driving until repairs are completed. Oncoming vehicle in your lane. Flash headlights, honk, and slow immediately to attract the other driver's attention. Steer to the right shoulder, never into the left lane, because the oncoming driver may correct at the last moment. If collision is unavoidable, aim for softer objects like bushes rather than a direct head-on impact. After the danger passes, regain lane position only when the roadway ahead is completely clear. Tips for driving in a flash flood. Turn around. Do not enter water of unknown depth. As little as 6 inches can make you lose control. A foot of moving water can float most passenger cars and sweep them downstream. Watch for flooded dips, washes, or low bridges after heavy rain and heed barricades or road close signs. If water starts rising around your vehicle, abandon it and reach higher ground if you can do so safely. Plan alternate routes during monsoon season and stay informed via weather alerts before traveling. Work zones. Orange signs, cones, and flaggers mark construction zones where fines double for speeding or violations. Reduce speed, merge early, and maintain extra space around workers, equipment, and uneven pavement. Eliminate distractions, keep both hands on the wheel and eyes scanning for sudden lane shifts. Follow flagger directions immediately. They carry the same legal authority as traffic signals. Expect nighttime work, narrow lanes, and abrupt stops. Patience keeps everyone safe. Emergency vehicles on highway shoulders. Nevada's move-over law requires a full lane change away from stopped emergency, tow, utility, NDT, or coroner vehicles displaying flashing lights. When a lane change is unsafe, slow to a speed less than the posted limit and pass with extreme caution. Stay alert for personnel working near traffic and avoid splashing them during wet weather. Failure to comply can lead to hefty fines and demerit points on your license. Protect lives by giving space. Chapter 05 Summary. Special driving situations demand slower speeds, wider cushions, and calm, practiced responses to the unexpected. Use the night, weather, emergency, and work zone strategies in this chapter to steer clear of trouble wherever you travel. Chapter 6. Sharing the road. Nevada's roads host a mix of big rigs, bikes, buses, and pedestrians that demand patience and vigilance from every driver. This chapter teaches you how to cooperate safely with diverse road users so traffic flows smoothly and crashes stay rare. Commercial vehicles. Stay out of no zones, the large blind spots along a truck's sides, directly behind and up to 20 feet in front. When passing, keep a steady speed and wait until you see the entire truck cab in your mirror before moving back. Give extra space because 80,000-pound trucks need longer distances to stop or turn. Remember that trucks swing wide right. Never squeeze along the right curb when a rig signals a right turn. Most car-truck crashes stem from mistakes by car drivers. Respect a truck's limits to protect yourself. Motorcycles. A motorcycle's small size makes it hard to judge speed and distance, so allow it a full traffic lane. Look twice at intersections and before lane changes. Motorcycles can disappear behind roof pillars or mirrors. Strong wind, potholes, or loose gravel can suddenly shift a rider. Maintain at least 4 seconds of following room. Never crowd a motorcycle during a pass. Your wind blast can unsettle its balance. Watch riders' body lean as an early clue that they will swerve or turn. Bicycles. Cyclists have the same rights and duties as motorists and may ride in traffic lanes when necessary. Nevada's 3-foot law requires at least 3 feet, or a full lane if available, when you pass a bicycle. Expect sudden swerves to dodge debris, drainage grates, or car doors. Give bicyclists ample lateral space. Before turning right, scan your mirror and blind spot for a cyclist advancing along the curb. At night, watch for bikes equipped only with small front lights or rear reflectors. They can blend into headlight glare. School buses. Traffic in both directions must stop when a school bus flashes red lights and extends its stop sign on undivided roads. Remain stopped until the lights cease and the stop arm folds, even if you do not see children on the pavement. On divided highways, only vehicles traveling in the same direction as the bus must stop. Violations can trigger hefty fines and warning letters to the registered owner when reported by bus drivers. Extra patience protects children who may dart unexpectedly into the roadway. Pedestrians. Yield to pedestrians in both marked and unmarked crosswalks. Crosswalks legally exist at every intersection. Stop well behind the line so larger vehicles behind you can also see the crossing area. Never pass a vehicle stopped at a crosswalk. It may be shielding a person you cannot yet see. Exercise special care near children, seniors, and people using mobility aids who move more slowly. Slow to walking speed in parking lots where pedestrians can emerge from between parked cars. Blind or visually impaired pedestrians. A white cane or guide dog signals absolute right-of-way. Stop completely and allow the person to clear your lane. Do not honk. The pedestrian uses the sound of your idling engine as a directional cue. When turning right on red, remain stopped until the blind pedestrian finishes crossing. Stop beyond crosswalks only when visibility is clear so you do not force the person to detour outside the tactile lines. Chapter 06 Summary. Sharing the road means predicting other users' needs, leaving generous space, and obeying the laws that protect vulnerable travelers. Car, truck, bike, or foot, courtesy and caution knit every mode into one efficient traffic system. Chapter 7. Towing. Pulling a trailer reshapes your vehicle's size, weight, and handling, demanding new habits to stay safe on Nevada roads. This chapter covers capacity limits, hitch choices, turning techniques, and space management so every tow arrives intact. Weight and capacity basics. Know your gross combination weight rating. GCW are the maximum safe total of tow vehicle, trailer, cargo, and passengers. Check individual limits for axle weight, tire load, suspension, and frame. The weakest component controls overall capacity. Never exceed the hitch or coupling device rating stamped on the tongue or receiver. Factor cargo placement. Too much weight behind the axle causes dangerous fishtailing. Aim for 10 to 15% tongue weight. Verify weights at a certified scale after loading to stay legal and avoid brake overheating on long grades. Coupling and hitch types. Ball mounts are common on passenger vehicles. Ensure the ball size matches the trailer coupler and is torqued correctly. Pintle hooks pair with lunette rings for heavy, off-road, or commercial loads and tolerate more articulation. Fifth-wheel hitches clamp a kingpin over the rear axle, offering superior stability for large RVs and car haulers. Gooseneck hitches use a ball in the truck bed. They allow tighter turns than bumper pull trailers of similar length. Always latch, pin, and safety chain the connection, then perform a pull test before leaving the lot. Trailer brakes, lights, and mirrors. Nevada requires trailer brakes when the gross weight exceeds 3,000 pounds. Test electric brake gain for smooth stops. Connect breakaway cables so they apply brakes if the trailer detaches from the hitch. Plug in the 7-way or 4-way wiring harness and check all running, brake, and turn lights before each trip. Add extended mirrors or clip-ons so you can see the trailer's full length and traffic behind both sides. Effective weight on stopping distance. A tow rig may weigh 2 to 3 times more than the solo vehicle, lengthening stopping distance dramatically. Increase following space to at least 5 seconds and begin braking sooner for lights or descending grades. Downshift early on long descents to spare service brakes from heat fade. Plan passing maneuvers carefully. Allow ample roadway to accelerate past and merge without cutting off others. Managing space and rearward amplification. Longer combinations off track, rear wheels carve a tighter arc than the tow vehicle when turning. The trailer swings wider the faster you steer. Rearward amplification. Slow, gentle inputs keep it in lane. Leave extra room when merging or changing lanes. Other drivers may misjudge your slower acceleration. Monitor trailer sway in mirrors and ease off throttle if oscillations begin. Steady steering, not sudden corrections. Right turns with trailers. Approach the turn with the rear trailer wheels near the curb, then swing wide enough so they clear the corner. Keep the tractor cab tight to the curb at completion so vehicles behind cannot sneak up on your right side. Signal early and watch tail swing. A trailer can sweep adjacent lanes or sidewalks if you cut too sharply. Left turns with trailers. Start from the inside lane and pull deeper into the intersection before initiating the turn to avoid curb overtracking. Check mirrors for tail swing that could strike vehicles waiting on your left. Never turn wide to the left at the outset. Drivers may think you are changing lanes and attempt to pass on the right. Space underneath and low clearances. Trailers sit lower than trucks. Railroad crossings, drainage dips, and unpaved yards can high-center the frame. Cross uneven surfaces at an angle and creep forward to prevent getting hung up. Know your overall height, including roof A, C units, or boat towers, and watch for low bridges, tree limbs, and service station canopies. Chapter 07 Summary. Successful towing pairs honest weight math with patient, space-hungry driving habits. Master coupling checks, wide arc turns, generous following gaps, and low clearance awareness to keep your combination steady and legal. Chapter 8. Insurance and financial responsibility. Carrying the right insurance is not just a legal box to tick, it guarantees funds to repair damage and care for people hurt in a crash. Nevada links every license plate to a live insurance database, so lapses are spotted quickly and fines add up fast. Nevada minimum liability coverage. Drivers must keep at least $25,000 for bodily injury to one person, $50,000 per crash, and $20,000 for property damage, 25/50/20. Your insurer files coverage electronically with the DMV. Failing to renew triggers an immediate registration suspension notice. Proof of insurance, card or phone app, must be shown to police on request and carried anytime you drive. If your policy cancels, you have 30 days to submit new proof before license plates are confiscated and reinstatement fees apply. High-risk insurance, SRT2 filings. After serious offenses such as DUI or an uninsured crash, Nevada may require an SRT2 certificate for 3 years. The insurer notifies DMV if the SRT2 lapses, leading to instant license suspension. Keep premiums current to avoid restarting the clock. An SRT2 can cost triple normal rates, so safe driving and on-time payment save money long-term. What to do after a crash? Stop immediately, move to a safe shoulder if possible, and render aid to anyone injured. Call 911 for injuries, blocked traffic, or suspected impairment. Minor fender benders can be reported online within 10 days. Exchange names, addresses, driver license numbers, vehicle plate numbers, and insurance details with everyone involved. If you strike an unattended vehicle or property, locate the owner or leave a note with contact information. Failing to stop, report, or provide insurance can mean criminal charges, license revocation, and steep civil costs. Penalties for no insurance. First offense, registration suspended, $250 reinstatement fee, and DMV fines starting at $250. Second offense within 5 years raises the fee to $500 plus SR2 requirement for 3 years. Driving without insurance after suspension is a misdemeanor that can carry jail time and towing expenses. Chapter 08 Summary. Maintaining active liability insurance, carrying proof, and acting responsibly after any collision shields both wallets and lives. Stay covered, drive defensively, and Nevada's electronic system will remain a quiet partner, not an expensive penalty machine. Chapter 9. Your driving record. Every traffic ticket, crash, or license action becomes part of your official record and can affect insurance rates, job prospects, and legal standing. This chapter explains Nevada's demerit point system, suspension triggers, and ways to keep your record clean. Demerit point system. Most moving violations add 1 to 8 points to your record. Accumulating 12 points within 12 months triggers a 6-month suspension. Points remain for 1 year from the conviction date and then drop off automatically. A driver improvement course can remove up to 3 points once every 12 months, but cannot prevent a scheduled suspension. Serious violations like DUI or reckless driving carry automatic revocation regardless of points. License suspensions and revocations. Common suspension causes include 12 demerit points, failure to appear/pay, uninsured crashes, and child support arrears. Revocations result from DUI, refusal of a chemical test, street racing, or leaving a crash scene involving injury or death. After the suspension or revocation period ends, drivers must pay reinstatement fees and may need an SR22 insurance filing. Checking your driving record. Order an official history online at dmv.nv.gov or in person at any full-service DMV office. Employers and insurers can request records with your signed consent, so accuracy matters. Review yours yearly. Report any errors immediately. Correcting a mistaken conviction or payment record can save points and money. Keeping a clean record. Follow posted speeds, signal every turn, and keep space cushions to avoid citations and crashes. Address tickets promptly. Court clerks can often set up payment plans that prevent license holds. Maintain insurance and vehicle registration to avoid administrative penalties unrelated to driving skill. Driver improvement programs. DMV-approved traffic safety schools offer point reductions and valuable defensive driving refreshers. Completion certificates must be filed with DMV within the deadline listed on your suspension notice or citation. Some courts allow online courses. Verify acceptance before enrolling to ensure credit. Chapter 09 Summary. Your driving record is a rolling resume of road habits. Guard it fiercely by driving lawfully and handling paperwork on time. Know how points add up, act fast on tickets, and use improvement courses to recover when mistakes happen. Chapter 10 dives into alcohol, drugs, and how impairment derails even a perfect record in seconds. Chapter 10. Driving under the influence. Alcohol, cannabis, and other drugs dull reaction time and judgment, turning routine trips into deadly gambles. Nevada's strict DUI laws pair roadside enforcement with harsh court and DMV penalties to keep impaired drivers off the road. DUI definition. It is illegal to drive or be in actual physical control of a vehicle with a blood alcohol concentration, BAC, of 0.08% or higher, 0.04% for commercial drivers. Per-SE drug limits include 2 ing/ml delta-9 THC in blood or 5 ing/ml combined metabolites. Officers may arrest at lower levels when impairment is obvious. No safe amount guarantees legality. DUI applies on any public roadway, parking lot, or private property open to the public. Zero tolerance for under 21. Drivers younger than 21 violate the law with a BAC of 0.02% or more. Even a single drink can cross the line. Convictions trigger automatic license revocation, costly court programs, and mandatory education courses. Parents may be liable for damages when minors drive impaired. Implied consent and chemical testing. By accepting a Nevada license, you consent to breath, blood, or urine tests when lawfully requested. Refusal leads to immediate license revocation for 1 year, 2 years on a second refusal within 7. Police may obtain a search warrant for a blood draw, adding contempt charges on top of DUI counts. Penalties and license actions. First offense within 7 years, 2 days to 6 months jail or community service, fines $400 to $1,000, DUI school, and 185-day license revocation. Second offense, 10 days to 6 months jail, fines up to $1,100, 1 year revocation, and mandatory treatment. Third offense, felony 1 to 6 years prison, up to $5,000 fine, and 3-year revocation. All offenders pay reinstatement fees and must file SR2 insurance for 3 years. Ignition interlock requirement. Courts order breath ignition interlocks for 185 days on first offenses and 1 to 3 years for repeat offenders. Drivers must blow below 0.02% for the engine to start. Tampering carries additional misdemeanor charges. Monthly calibration ensures devices remain accurate. Officer observations and field sobriety. Common cues, weaving, wide turns, inconsistent speed, and nearly striking objects or curbs. Standardized tests, HGN, walk and turn, one-leg stand, provide probable cause for arrest. Preliminary breath tests at the roadside estimate BAC, but official evidentiary tests follow at station or hospital. Avoiding DUI convictions. Designate a sober driver before drinking or use rideshare, taxis, or public transit. Be mindful of prescription or over-the-counter medications that warn against driving. Consult your pharmacist. Allow at least 1 hour per standard drink for your body to metabolize alcohol. Coffee or cold showers do not speed the process. Chapter 10 Summary. Impaired driving shatters lives and careers. Plan ahead. Hand over the keys and arrive alive. Nevada's penalties escalate quickly, but the real cost is measured in lives saved or lost by every choice you make. Chapter 11. License suspensions and revocations. When habits slide or legal obligations lapse, Nevada can pull your privilege to drive without warning. This chapter spotlights how suspensions happen, what it takes to get reinstated, and how to avoid the sidelines. Reinstatement basics. Suspensions do not clear automatically. Drivers must complete every court or DMV order before plates or licenses return. Typical requirements include paying reinstatement fees, providing an SR2 insurance filing, and finishing any mandated education or treatment. Proof of insurance must be on file, and unpaid traffic fines or child support arrears must be resolved before licenses are reissued. Top suspension triggers. Point accumulation. 12 demerit points in 12 months brings a 6-month suspension. Collision causing injury to a bicyclist or pedestrian. Failure to appear in court or satisfy a traffic citation. Security deposit. Not posting financial security after a serious crash. Repeated lapses in vehicle liability insurance or driving without insurance. Child support delinquency, illegal firearm offenses, and street racing or trick driving displays. Alcohol or drug violations, including DUI or refusing a chemical test. Living with a suspension. Driving while suspended is a misdemeanor that can add jail time, higher fines, and vehicle impound fees. Hardship or restricted licenses may allow travel to work or school, but only after a minimum suspension period. Keep all paperwork copies in your vehicle. Police can confirm status instantly through DMV databases. Use the suspension as a reset. Take a defensive driving course and set up reminders to renew insurance and registrations on time. Chapter 11 Summary. Nevada suspends and revokes to protect the public. Staying compliant with points, insurance, and court dates protects your freedom to drive. Handle problems fast, meet every reinstatement step, and keep excellent records to avoid extended time off the road. Chapter 12. New resident vehicle registration requirements. Bringing wheels into Nevada means meeting fresh paperwork, tax, and inspection rules within tight deadlines. This chapter walks newcomers through the must-do steps so plates, insurance, and emissions fall into place smoothly. Key registration steps for new residents. Nevada law requires coverage in amounts of at least. Emission Control Vehicle Inspection Report, smog check. Chapter 12 Summary. Registering quickly keeps you legal, insured, and free from late fees or roadside citations. Gather insurance, title, VIN inspection, and emissions proof before your DMV visit to sail through the counter.